Shit. Get a higher level of DIY with Halo from Pulsar, the professional-grade do-it-yourself security and home automation system that turns your smartphone into a universal remote control for your entire home. Lock and unlock your doors remotely. Control your lights from anywhere. Turn appliances on and off. Save money by managing your thermostat. Arm or disarm your alarm system and receive notifications so you know who's coming home. Create scenes like movie night or arrive home where one touch of a button triggers a whole sequence of events. You can also schedule these scenes to happen automatically. If that's not convenient enough, Halo's fully integrated with Amazon Echo.
Alexa, tell SmartLink to turn on the fireplace.
Setting fireplace to on.
Keep an eye on your home from anywhere with our industry-leading cameras, featuring high-definition video resolution, night vision, and two-way voice, so you can stay in contact with your kids, your pets, or even your elderly parents. Halo's higher level of DIY starts with professional-grade security that most do-it-yourself systems lack. Military-grade encrypted security, smoke, medical, and even flood sensors keep you notified, but are also professionally monitored 24/7 to keep your home safe. Halo comes fully equipped with Z-Wave, one of the most advanced and simple-to-use smart home communications platforms, giving you total control to automate your home the way you want. The Halo advantage is having your security, automation, and video surveillance all integrated into one system. This integration is what sets Halo apart from the competition. The unlocking of a door can disarm your security system. Door sensors used on your liquor cabinet or gun safe can trigger a notification to your phone with video confirmation of who's in there. Arming your security system can automatically lock your doors or close your blinds. Our flood sensor not only notifies you when it detects water, but can turn off your water valve automatically to prevent further damage. Safety sensors like the smoke detector and panic pendant can be set up to trigger scenes like turning on the lights and unlocking doors. Advancements in wireless technology and pre-programming makes Halo simple. If you can stick up a sensor, screw in a light bulb, and download an app, you can install your Halo system. But if you do need a hand, Pulsar Halo's 24/7 customer support is always there to assist. So don't get stuck in long-term contracts or pay hundreds more for systems that do far less. You take control and have security on your terms. Automate your home the way that you want, with a system that takes complicated and expensive and makes it simple and affordable. Pulsar's Halo. Well, hey everybody, it's Big T.
It's Mitch. Good evening.
Coming to you from a beautiful night in Minnesota. Welcome to Pulsar Halo TV, edition 627 of 2018. And guess what that means?
That means you only have 3 more days to qualify to be a Halo Pioneer.
And what are those qualifications?
you need 2 customers.
That's it.
That's it. You need 2 personal customers.
And you become part of the elite club of being a Halo Pioneer.
Halo Pioneer. Also, on that note, 19 days until launch. The countdown is on.
Oh, yeah. It's 19 days. That makes it seem like there's not a lot of time left.
There's not.
There's not.
There's not.
All right. Well, tonight we're going to run through a couple of things. We've had some people, you know, we've done a lot of activations here in the last couple of weeks. By the way, kudos to everybody out there selling systems, becoming Halo Pioneers. I think we have one sitting right here now too, don't we?
Well, as of tomorrow, yes.
That's once that system's activated.
I will be installing Tyler's system tomorrow.
And if the mail was faster, you'd be have a third one the way it sounds. So.
Yes.
So kudos to you. Booyah. So anyway, all it takes to be a Halo Pioneer is basically just go talk about this app thing that we have on our phone. And people just seem to want to know about it. So it just happens.
It's fancy.
It's fancy. So tonight we're going to cover a couple of things. Like I said, a lot of activations we've had. And a couple of them had these Trident sensors. And when I talk to people about it, obviously you saw in that video that we've got out there that one of the things a Trident sensor can do, besides notifying you if there's a water leak, high temp and low temp, but you can create a scene. And so what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate what that scene can do. So Mitchell's going to very carefully...
A little science experiment.
Here, let me change camera angles here so that you can see. That right there is the Trident sensor. So why don't you hold that up so they can see the bottom of it. I want them to see the...
There's the 2 little contacts right there and there.
Those are the 2 little contacts, and those are the things that detect water. And then also built into that sensor is a temperature sensor for hot and a temperature sensor for cold. So it's basically it's a multi-purpose. It's like 3 sensors in one. If you were to go purchase from another company a temperature sensor and a flood sensor, you probably spend 3 or 4 times the money, and it wouldn't be as cool connected to your system, because this is not just an alert, but it also becomes a feature that, as you can see on top of it, is the it's made by a company called Dome, and it's just a water valve. It just goes over the top of your current water valve, so you don't have to change out water valves or anything like that. It just mounts with a couple of hose clamps. Now I only had room for one because my demo system isn't that great. Thanks to David Vancourt, who actually built this thing. So you just a couple of hose clamps to hold it on the pipe, and then the other end just fits right over the top of that water valve.
It's really just a motorized arm to turn the lever.
That's what it is.
Pretty much it.
So what we're going to do is we're going to show you what happens when a scene is programmed, or actually it's not a scene, it's an event that you set up, and to where the water valve will turn off when that thing detects water. So for instance, you got this up at a cabin up north, or maybe your second home, that maybe you got a place that you're not there very often. Well, if something happens to spring a leak, the hot water heater or something under the sink or wherever, you can place these all over any place, and water springs up, but you are 4, 5, 6 hours away. This will notify you. But here's one more thing it'll do. Why don't you go ahead and dump some water in there? Pretend we got a water leak.
Oh, bam!
Oh, we got a water leak.
Pipe burst.
Oh, it didn't get up to the
pipe bursting more.
Pipe burst. Now it's leaking.
Uh-oh.
What's that noise?
That's your...
Oh.
It's your hub yelling at you.
That's the hub saying that we have an issue. Well, at the same time, now it's sending a signal through your Z-Wave devices, and look at that.
Oh, look at that. Saving me a trip up to the cabin.
So that just saved you a trip up to the cabin. I'm going to shut that alarm off so you can actually hear me.
What?
There we go.
Deactivation.
But look what else it did. Which camera angles? It sent me a notification on my phone. Water leak detected. Trident flood sensor. See that right there? There has been a water leak detected on your Trident flood sensor. There, see that? So it not only notifies you of an issue, but it will turn that water valve off. So now you're not leaking anymore because the water has been turned off.
So then you come back, you get it all fixed up, reset, you clean off your Trident like you saw me do, and you just simply, when you're done, you push the power button, and it resets your valve back to normal, and you're ready to go again.
And that water valve is a Z-Wave device, so you can also control it from the Z-Wave device list on your phone. So we got lights and appliances. One of those lights and appliances in my list is a water valve. So I could turn that thing on and off just by touching my phone and watch. It'll turn off again.
The suspense is killing me.
See, look at it go.
Look at that.
That's just cooler than sliced bread. Because there was a time when
sliced bread
didn't come pre-sliced. Did you know that? Are you old enough to know that?
I knew that. Yes, I did.
There was a time when beer didn't come in a can. You had to pour it out of a keg every time.
There was a time where.
So, anyway, so now what I want to do is we're going to go to myhalosystem.com and take you to your app, your portal, and show you how we set this up. Because people say, "Oh yeah, that's pretty cool," but how did you do it? And so I'm going to take you back here on the computer screen, and you log into your app. Let me go back. So when you log into your app here, this is what you're going to see once you log in. But if you scroll down, turn this off so you don't have to look at me. Now I'm off. But if you go down to events, that's where you're going to set this up, because this is an event. It's being triggered by something. So if you look at these events, this is the event that I set up. You know what? I'm going to delete this and create it again so you can see how it's done. So I want to create a scheduled event. It's not really a scheduled. It can be. You can schedule the time. But this type of event, I'm just going to call it water leak.
Like you're whispering the W and then
water leak.
Water leak.
Okay, yeah. And then the type of event that it's going to be is going to be a zone trigger, because the Trident sensor is part of your security system and home safety system, so it is called a zone. So it's going to be a zone trigger. And if you look here, you can have things triggered by your alarm going off. So you can set up to where when your alarm goes off, all the lights in your house turn on, so the burglar can find his way out. How's that?
Yeah.
Or you can set it to where when your fire alarm goes off, it turns all the lights on in your house so you can get out quicker. Or when the panic pendant is pressed, that would be a zone trigger. So when somebody presses the panic pendant, it can turn all the lights on and unlock the door so the EMTs can get in to help grandma if she's fallen and can't get up, kind of thing. But what we're doing with the flood sensor, it's a zone trigger. Oh, but I wanted to show you there was one more. There's a time trigger, and that's where you can set up things to come out at a certain time. Maybe you want all the lights and the doors to lock and your security system to arm at midnight. That's where you would go, is in the time trigger area. But tonight we're going to talk about zone trigger. And this zone is not my door, it's not my motion, it's my Trident flood. And there's Trident has, like I said, 3 sensors. There's a flood, the temperature for low, and the temperature for high. Well, I'm obviously going to choose the flood sensor. So when that shows an open, then what do I want to have happen? I want to have my water valve here turn off. Now I can select whatever I want, turn on or off. Obviously off is what you want to do with the water valve. But then don't forget, you got to click over here to select that. So now that's what I've done here, is I've said if my flood sensor shows an open, which means it's going off, I want this down here to happen. And you can choose your water valve to turn off. You can set your temperature. You know, there's all kinds of options that you can choose here. But obviously for this, the other thing is scenes to go off. If you've got scenes set up, it will show your scenes down here. So I've got scenes set up to arrive home, movie night, lock up, cameras to record, things like that. So I could tell it to the camera that's down in the basement monitoring the water area could turn on, so I could, you know, it'll record and send me a snapshot video. So now that I put all this in, I just hit save. And now I've got my water leak event set up, scheduled to run on the zone open and Trident flood sensor going off. So that's where you go in to program events and things like that. And there's so many different things you can do when you start actually playing with it. There's a lot of options that you can do in there. So one other, I'm going to show you another event like motion cam. A lot of people have asked about cameras recording, because our cameras by default do not have motion sensing on them. And the reason for that is the motion sensing on a lot of cameras is very inconsistent, and it ended up being to where people ended up turning it off anyway. So because we have a system that's fully integrated to where we've got motion sensors, we've got door sensors that can trigger all kinds of different things. So if you wanted motion censored camera, you just put a motion detector in the room that you want the camera to record in. And that's what I did with this schedule right here. You go in to edit this. What I have is motion camera trigger. So it's a zone trigger when door 3 opens up or when my motion sensor detects something. I want my cameras to record. So that's the action that I had it take, was I wanted my cameras to record. Now that's a scene that I set up. So what that's doing is saying when one of these things triggers it, I want this scene to happen. Well, what is that scene? I already set that up over here in personalized scenes. So you have to set that up first. And so my cameras to record, what I did with that was I just named it cameras record. Trigger a recording using the camera in the kitchen living room. Trigger a recording using the camera in the basement. And where I set these up was down here. So I just go select a camera that I want to have. That's the action that I want to take. And it'll just list the cameras that are connected to your system. So I have the kitchen, basement, and the deck. I could even have the garage. I'll add the garage camera to it. What do I want it to do? Trigger recording using your garage camera. So I'm going to add that to this list up here. You'll watch. This will get added to the list. Boom. Now all 4 of my cameras are going to record when that scene is activated. And I can activate that scene manually on my app, or that's what I just did in this event schedule, is I have this scene activated on motion and when door 3, the door sensors on my door, when that opens up or when motion is detected, now this scene is happening. Oh, yes, very good point. One thing right now, just in case people are running into it, it's kind of a public service announcement.
Speaking of cameras, I was reminded of it.
Yes, Mitch was with me. We helped a guy install some outdoor cameras, 11 of them actually, here last weekend. And we found out that on the new SmartLink app, the outdoor cameras, when you're connecting them with the Ethernet option, currently right now, and SmartLink is aware of this, so it's going to be fixed. But I have had people that say they can't get the cameras to connect, the outdoor cameras specifically, using the app. So those of you that are techie that are doing this kind of stuff, just so you know, Android phones are having some issue with it. Mitchell's Apple phone actually worked great.
Apple supremacy.
Yeah, but it's because it was originally designed around the Apple phone and the Android was the secondary one.
Because Apple is superior.
But when you're going to add it in, if anybody's done this, you're going to understand it. There's going to be a lot of people going to go, what? But what the Android phone is doing is when you're sending the Wi-Fi information through your phone to the camera and the portal, it's putting quotation marks around your SSID, which is basically the name of your Wi-Fi network. So if your Wi-Fi network is Johnson's Wi-Fi, on the Apple phone it does it correctly and just has Johnson's Wi-Fi, and then you type in your password. On the Android phone, what's happening is it's putting quotation marks around that, so it's just a programming issue that they have to fix. So if anybody's having problems with that, that's a quick solution, is just delete those quotation marks that are around your SSID.
And it will find it.
And then it connects just fine. So just a public service announcement on that. So that was just because we were talking about cameras. So anyway, with that, there's a couple other things that I wanted to mention. Actually, I thought this was going to take a lot longer, so we got lots of extra time.
So did I. I thought we were going to eat up a lot more time with this demo here.
So we're gonna throw it out to you out in the crowd.
Yeah, I got some shout outs here. We got Scott Clemenson from North Dakota watching. Chris Oppenheimer's on here. Got a shout out from Brian Harden. Says, "What's up, Big T?"
Brian Harden is watching?
Brian Harden is on.
Brian, I ain't seen you in a while. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, that's all I got for shout outs right now. So if you're watching, be sure to shout out. Let us know that you're on here.
And if you got any questions about what we've done tonight or the cameras or whatever, go ahead and shoot them over. I'm going to go check the YouTube.
Oh, the BoobTube stream.
See if we're getting any comments on the BoobTube.
I didn't know we were streaming on YouTube.
We are. I think we are. Oh, yeah, there's Cheryl Westerman.
Oh, yeah, Cheryl Westerman.
So
Look at that. Chris Oppenheimer double teaming. He's watching on YouTube and Facebook.
So anyway, and another thing is the 16th during the launch. I guess we forgot to mention that here on the TV channel tonight. Is we're going to be around the country. We're going to be simulcasting a launch event. We're going to have one right here in Big Lake, Minnesota. They're going to be down in San Antonio. We're going to have one up in New Hampshire. I mean, we're going to be posting all these on the Facebook page as they start to come in, and we know for sure what's happening. I know we're going to have one up in Fargo.
We're doing something here,
at
right?
Dean Johnson's house. Yeah, we'll be right here. It'll be one of the locations. But then we're going to do a simulcast web conference from these different locations, and we're going to be covering, obviously, the reveal of the website will happen that night. We've got a lot of cool tools that we're working on right now. They're going to be available. A new prospecting app that's going to be fantastic. It's really cool.
It's cool stuff.
So it's going to streamline with the things that we were needing, and it's going to be cool. I just can't. I don't want to say too much because I'll start giving things away.
Yeah, I know. So, we know how you are with that.
Yeah. So
look at that. We got all kinds of people signing on now.
Oh, well, give us a shout out. We can say, hey.
Daryl Stewart.
How's it going, Daryl?
Donna's on. Leslie, BJ.
BJ, California. I think BJ's actually going to be at one of the simulcast events as well out there in California, IA. Maybe we should go out there.
Heck yeah. Oh, Scott Clemenson. He's got any update on the driveway sensor? What's going on with that?
Scott is relentless about that driveway sensor. Yeah, Scott, I actually did a little bit of research on it today. It's something we're trying to make it better. The one that we had out there, that the other company had out there, wasn't quite up to par to being a DIY thing.
Yeah, it was cool and all, but there was some effort that needed to be put into.
Yeah, so it might be available in our Pro Series. Oh, did I mention something I shouldn't have? Oh, no.
Don't tell Brian.
Don't tell Brian.
Were you done? I'm sorry. I just got more questions rolling in.
I need to be done because I'll start saying things I shouldn't.
Leslie's wondering about a doorbell camera. Something else that you probably shouldn't get too in depth with.
It's way closer than it ever has been, Leslie. I'll just say that.
Yes. Donna's wondering about the Trident sensor. Can the Trident be set to be put in a freezer and go off if the freezer gets above 32 degrees?
I don't believe so. I don't think the Trident is designed for that. I don't think
so either.
Although our manufacturer does make a temperature sensor that can be set to do that. So there is options. The Trident, I don't believe has that ability.
Gotcha.
But there are other sensors that the manufacturer does have that we can get. It'd be kind of a special order thing because it's not very common. So we're probably not going to stock them. But for a special order, we could get one from our manufacturer, I believe. So good question, by the way. I've had that question before, too.
So that's all I've got for questions. Leslie seems disappointed. Okay.
Don't worry, Leslie. You're going to be excited.
It's
because,
coming.
Yes. The camera is finally done being worked on, and be excited, Leslie. Be excited. Because what other companies couldn't deliver, Pulsar Halo will.
Brian Harden wants you to spill the beans. Come on, Big T.
Spill the beans. About what? Okay, the Pro Series.
Secrets.
Pro Series, it's not that
It's
big
not
a deal.
that big a deal. What is it? We sort of quickly touched on it when we were going over the new website and with the template, what it's going to be like. You kind of went in. There's going to be a tab called the Pro Series for these certain things.
I already said that once.
Well, we talked about it when we were going over the website was still in its construction phase, and we briefly touched on it for a minute. But.
Okay, I just don't know how much is going to be in there to start with. But basically, all the Pro Series is we're going to be able to market things that aren't really DIY, like switches and maybe this driveway sensor.
Low voltage stuff. You actually have to physically go out and dig, trench to install this thing.
It's not a real easy to do thing, but there's no reason why we can't carry those things.
Right.
Because it just puts us in a better place. So having light switches and things like that an electrician technically should be involved with, and there will be a disclaimer that, buying this device requires the aid of a professional kind of thing like that. But there's no reason why they can't get it from us instead of trying to shop around and find other places. If we can get them a better deal on it, why not? So anyway, so that's what the Pro Series we're looking at doing. So
rock and roll.
So exciting stuff. So I haven't watched here. Any questions over here on the YouTube?
Doesn't look like it. I think we got most of our viewers here on the
Halo Nation, which is good.
Oh, we got 6 there, and we got
That's
9 here.
So
good, I like that.
Anyway, well, we're gonna wrap it up. Shut her down for tonight. Thanks for watching. Make sure you get out there. You got a few more days to become a Halo Pioneer. So go out there. All you got to do is show people this system. What is a Halo Pioneer going to do for you? We don't know yet, but it sure is a pretty cool title, right?
Right.
No, there are a few things. We're looking at special seating at events and special recognition. Obviously, the biggest thing is the ones that are Halo Pioneers are the ones that are going to make bigger money as we go down the road. It's always
because you're a step ahead of everybody else.
Exactly. So during this pre-launch, get as much put together as you can, because then when we launch, you're going to rank up. So you're going to start when we launch the company at a position where you're making more money. So there it is.
So
with that,
also, so just before we go, so everybody knows, with next Wednesday being 4th of July, we will not be doing an episode.
There will not be Halo TV, because I guarantee
next week
you and I would probably be the only ones watching ourselves on the screen right there.
Probably, and as enjoyable as that can be.
Yeah.
It's kind of superfluous and pointless. So
I like looking at the guy on this side.
Oh, one more quick question. Leslie's wondering, when is the contest over? That goes until that doesn't go. Shoot, I don't remember.
I think it was the end of July.
I think it was the end of July.
Yep.
It's right before. We had it written down.
July 30th.
July 30th, yeah.
Now till July 30th, yep. And because then we got time to because the early bird tickets for the Accelerate Halo event, they stop in August. So we want to know by the end of July who gets free tickets, so they don't have to purchase them.
Right.
So
July 30th.
Thanks for reminding us. Oh, Chris Oppenheimer. Yep, confirmed.
Thanks, Chris. Yep. So
July 30th. So, all right.
Alrighty.
Well, have a fantastic night, folks. We will see you not next week.
Nope.
But I think the week after is. That's the 1 week before the event. So we'll see you.
Yep.
A few days before the event, and so we'll have some exciting stuff on that show.
Heck yes, looking forward.
All right. Well, have a great night. We're going to sign off.
All right, we're out of here.
Ta-ta for now.